What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing on the bacon NBA DFS video. This is for Tuesday. This is for March 5th. We are back with another video. Hopefully this video helps you. If you need a little bit more help, we do have the website, which we will go over towards the end of this video, but the website is FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. If you've been here before, you know the drill, but if you've never been here before, we try to have giveaways every single day. Very easy to have these giveaways. Two ways. First way, like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. You've got to leave a comment for the comment picker. If the video gets at least 50 likes and you leave a comment, you have a chance to win a free week of content. If the video gets 100 likes, you have a chance to win a free month. 125 likes is a chance to win a free year. And if any of our videos ever get 150 or more likes, you have a chance to win a lifetime pass worth $500. The second way to win, and these can combine together, like the video, be a subscriber, and tell me who you think is going to score the most amount of DraftKings fantasy points, and how many fantasy points will they score, do you think? The person closest without going over, Price is Right rules, will win a free week of DFS content. If you get it exactly correct, which nobody has yet, in the months that we've been doing this, not one person has gotten it, they've come very close. But if you get it exactly correct, you will win a free year pass to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. So, good luck to everyone who enters the contest. If anyone wins it with the fantasy points, it'll be in the description of this video, and I'll pin the comment down below pretty much the next day. So, yesterday's winner will be pinned in the comment section. I'll have you guys check that out. So make sure you come back every single day to see if you win. A lot of free content. On top of that, we do have FTA Plus. So we have a monthly pass plus sports betting. We have a yearly pass and a lifetime pass. We are currently running two promos right now. For the yearly pass, normally $199, so $199 for every sport we have for 1 year. If you use the promo code MLBVIP, you'll get 1 year for $75 instead of $199. If you use the same exact thing for another year, for a year, but if you use the promo code VIP customer, all one word, all capital letters, VIP customer, you will get 1 year for $99. But on top of that, we are going to add a second year. That's not just for MLB, that's for every single sport we have to offer. So MLB VIP will get you 1 year for $75, or VIP customer, all one word, all capital letters, will get you 2 years for $99. So go check those out. A lot of people have been asking about them. First come, first serve. We do not have very many coupon codes left. So that being said, we have a full, one of the biggest slates we've had in a while, since I want to say a week and a half. Since coming back from the All-Star break, we have a full slate, which is very exciting. So what we're going to do is if you've never been here before, we're going to go. Hopefully it's a little bit different for what you're used to. If you're looking for just core plays and that's it, you've probably come to the wrong spot. We do have core plays for both Fanduel and DraftKings and value plays. In the description of this video is the Discord link. We throw those in there every single day. We have projections on the website. We talk in the Discord. We have a lot on the website. If you're looking for just core plays and that's it, or you want like 3 or 4 plays, you're in the wrong spot. We go game by game. We look at them. We break it down a little bit. We tell you who we like. At the end of this video, we're going to build a DraftKings lineup. I've had some people say they like the FanDuel one, but it hasn't been received as much as I thought it would be. So for today's video, we're going to do a DraftKings only build using the NBA points allowed by position tool. Now, on top of that, you can use that tool for FanDuel. You can use the information we use here with DraftKings pricing, but use it for FanDuel and FanDuel pricing. So that being said, let's take a look at the games. So we currently have 8 game slate. So you got 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game slate, starting with Orlando versus Charlotte. So what we do is we kind of go back and forth and we look at the plays. You can see there's questionable guys, there's people that are out, there's people we're waiting for. Yes, I love Luka. Oh, you only go the big guys. No, that's not true. Plus, I have had a bunch of comments saying you give away all the players, or you say all the players. Like, we're giving the players that make sense. If you want the core plays, those are on our Discord. So, just looking at Orlando versus Charlotte, Currently opened up as a 6.5-point favorite. Orlando is a 6.5-point favorite. Or Charlotte's not good. Let's put it that way. 6.5-point favorite. New Orleans versus Toronto, 5.5 favorite for New Orleans. Philly versus Brooklyn, they're not out there yet, but that's two kind of teams. Boston versus Cleveland, Boston opened up as a 3.5-point favorite. Detroit versus Miami, Miami's a 9.5-point favorite. So again, Detroit normally is right around there. So if you've been with us or you've watched the trend all year, Detroit have been like 8, 9, 10 plus point underdogs. They've stuck into games long enough where we can find value in Detroit players along with Miami players. So if it is a blowout, Detroit players obviously will make a little bit more. If it is a closer game, both teams could be in store for a good game, which is exactly what we need in this kind of instance here. We've got Atlanta versus the Knicks. Knicks open up as a 7.5-point favorite. San Antonio versus Houston. Houston being a 6.5-point favorite. Indiana versus Dallas. Dallas being a 5.5-point favorite. It's going without having looked at the over/under, it's going to be a very high over/under. And then Phoenix versus Denver. Denver being an 8.5-point favorite, which I'm scared about a little bit, but we will dig into some numbers real quick. Yeah, so just looking at the totals that we have available right now, Orlando versus Charlotte, 212.5, which is kind of low with. And normally when I talk about this, and people have asked, if I am looking for targeted games to look at, and there are 8 games on the slate, I'm probably going to take off any game that's under 220. There might be those one-offs with Charlotte or Orlando players, which we can talk about, but that's the mindset in there. You want to find those higher games, the higher over-unders, the closer spread, so the more points you will get fantasy point-wise out of your guys. New Orleans versus Toronto, 231. Then we have San Antonio versus Houston, 232. Indiana versus Dallas, 252. Absolutely love this matchup on both sides. This is the game I want to target, and we will look at that. And then Phoenix versus Denver, 223.5 over/under. So let's take a look at Orlando versus Charlotte first, and we'll go through here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the plays that make sense and build around there. And at the end, we will build a lineup, like I said, using all the one of many tools that we have on the site. So Ball most likely will be out. It hasn't been ruled out yet. Still has the out tag. Unless, let's see. Yeah, he's going to be out. He hasn't progressed any further. Fully expect him to be out the rest of the year. There's really no point. They're not going to make it. Don't push it. He'll probably be out the year. That obviously opens up value. But again, we're still looking at, that would obviously be, for Charlotte, be Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, Terrence Mann makes sense for me. Or Trey Mann, sorry. Price-wise, he is going up in price. I don't love that. But price-wise, we're looking at Trey Mann, 5,400. Or no, he's up to 5,700. I don't mind him. I don't. I wish he was a little bit lower. Nick Richards is questionable. Didn't play Sunday. It's the first game he's missed. I don't know if maybe he had a couple of days rest. Now he's good to go. But Nick Richards would make some sense here. And I've had a lot of people ask about like the red and green here and the offensive player rank. And don't look at this. This is not, like, this messes more people up than not. So just because you see red, and a lot of people are going to be like, oh, red, I don't want to go there. Mind that not at all. Do not look at that. Look at other tools. So we've got this. We've got the fantasy points allowed by position. So you could look at it. You could look at how they play. It's kind of messed up because some players are multi-positional eligibility. So it doesn't really say where they take that factor from. So don't look at those. I hate those. I've had a lot of people say, I haven't used those and I've done really bad. If you get out of that mindset, it's a good spot to be in using other tools. I don't know why they try to use it to mess you up. Because if you look at this and then you look at like FanDuel, if they have the same thing, sometimes they don't even look nearly identical. And it really messes you up. So just kind of looking down, obviously we know the big guys. We know Bonchero. We know Bridges, Wagner. Those are the higher price guys. But getting down to the sticks, I really like Cole Anthony. I don't know how to say his name, so I'm not going to attempt it. But we had him in our lineups Sunday. He was our core. He was in, I want to say, all 4 of our lineups He was 4,300, went off for 25.5. He is now priced up here. But again, if this game stays close, if he gets the minutes, if he gets the start, it was his first career start. This is something to monitor. I don't want you to get screwed over, but you're seeing he's got back-to-back 28-plus minutes in these games. He's a $5,000 player. He is a cheap player to be able to build around. Cole Anthony makes sense. Mo Wagner a little bit. Davis Bertans, if he gets a start, we used him Sunday, played 26 minutes, got 25.25, was 3,400. They have now moved him up to 4,000. I still like Davis Bertans here. You got to make sure he's starting. That's the key. 25 plus minutes would be awesome. 20 plus minutes would be awesome as well. So if he gets the minutes, Bertans, I love me some Bertans at that price. Jonathan Isaac, we were all over Sunday as well. 13 minutes, 5.5 fantasy points. Did not come through. Shame. Very shame. Don't know what to expect. The minutes just aren't there for him, so I'm probably off of him. So yeah, basically in this depth, I'm looking at Bertans and up. Next game, New Orleans versus Toronto. We look at the Scotty Barnes being out. Is he out extended, or they just haven't said? He's out indefinitely. So Scotty Barnes is out indefinitely. Fractured hand. Obviously bumps up Emmanuel Quickly. I think everyone's going to be on him. I love me some Emmanuel Quickly. I love RJ Barrett here. Zion, Brandon. Those are the big names. You guys know that. We get down a little bit. You're looking for a little bit of value. We've got Gary Trent Jr. I'm okay with. You've got Alvarado. We used him the other day. The minutes have been there. The price is down to 3,700, which is great. That's a great price. 17.25. Obviously, we would love for a 30 burger here, which he's very capable of, especially in this game. So Jose Alvarado at 3,700 is a cheap option that I would look at. Jordan Hawkins is a cheaper option I would look at. We used him Sunday. Let us down, only played 7 minutes, the lowest amount of minutes he's played. So I don't believe I've used Jordan Hawkins at all this season until Sunday, and then he only played 12 minutes or 7 minutes. Go figure. Or not Sunday. The first. Whatever that was. Friday. We've used Grady Dick. The minutes have been there. The price keeps going up on him. Honestly, Jose Alvarado, I would look at. Najee Marshall a little bit for tournaments is as low as I'd go. And yeah, you want to stick with Zion. You want to stick with Ingram. You want to stick with all the big guys in this one. So find those value in the first game or this game or other games here. Philly versus Brooklyn. Obviously, Embiid is out. Cam Thomas, we'll see if he continues to be out here. Ben Simmons, really don't know what you're going to get out of Ben Simmons. Being on back-to-backs, they're, injury, whatever the wording is, injury minutes restriction or whatever it is. I don't know. We'll kind of wait to see there. Nick Claxton, I like. Cam Johnson, Buddy Hield, Dennis Schroeder. Those are players that I'd look at. You want to get a little bit lower, Lonnie Walker the fourth. You never know how many minutes that dude's going to get, though. But again, he's 4,200. That's probably as low as I would go. I wouldn't go down here. And again, what Philly center is it going to be Mo Bamba? Is it going to be Paul Reed? Who is going to get the minutes? That's the problem with Philly. We've used him before. He's come through. Played 28 minutes, 29.75. Play against Charlotte, 24 minutes, 29 fantasy points. Then he had a 3.75 in 14 minutes. Paul Reed looks like maybe he's getting his traction, getting the minutes. I don't mind that. Had a decent game against Dallas in 28 minutes in a game they won, which I was very surprised they beat Dallas. And they dropped his price $200. So Paul Reed could be a cheaper center option today if that's what you're looking for. I mean, Maxey, Bridges, Tobias Harris, all these other guys are definitely players that I'd look at. But the lowest I would probably go would be Paul Reed down here at 5,100. I wouldn't look any lower. Unless, again, in the description of this video, I think I forgot to mention, but we have an article. In that article, we have our projections. So we have 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position. The value will open up throughout the day. That is what you need to look for. Value opens up throughout the day when when more news comes out with all of these guys. Are they out? Are they in? What is going on? So that's kind of what we need to look for there. So in that game, you will find some value between Philly and Brooklyn, but I think it's going to be, we got to wait till the news comes out to who's actually going to start for these guys. Boston, Cleveland, I think this could be a good game. We're kind of waiting on Donovan Mitchell. He's going to have the questionable tag probably for a while. Did not play Sunday, has not played since the 28th. If he is out, I would obviously love, did LeVert play on Sunday as well? So he didn't play either. So that opens up Darius Garland, would be a top option if both of those guys are out yet again. Something to pay attention to. Evan Mobley. Flip side on Boston, Porzingis, Strus, Isaac Okoro at 4,300. I don't mind him. We used him on Sunday against the Knicks. 34 minutes, 36.25 fantasy points. Dominated at his price. Then he only went up 100. So if Mitchell and LeVert are both out, Okoro, and I said that before, should get some more run at this price. It's a very nice price, especially if you want to pay up for Luka, if you want to pay up for other players today. Probably as low as I'd go would be Okoro here, for sure. Then we look at Detroit versus Miami. Like I said, it's a closer game than what we're used to for Detroit. But again, I think they stay in this game a little bit. I think it should be good. Adebayo, Butler, those guys from Miami, we know what we're going to get out of them. They're higher priced. Cunningham has been going up in price, so I wish he were under 7K, but I would still look at him. I would still look at Oscar Thompson. I would still take a look at Duncan Robinson if the minutes are there for Duncan. If we look, the minutes have been there for Duncan Robinson. He's had some good games. We look at this. At 5,800, I don't mind him at all. I think everyone's going to be more on Butler. I think you could save a ton of money with Duncan. You go Simone. 33 minutes against Orlando, 30.5 fantasy points at 4,500. Went down $100. I don't mind him at all, especially in this game. I think he will be there's so much value opening up. It's crazy the kind of value we can see in here. And that's probably as low as I would go there as of now. Maybe Jovic, let's see. Minutes have fluctuated, but he's had double-digit points. He's only 3,800. I think he will be a very popular play at 3,800 for sure. So you can find all this value today. That's what I love about a big slate. You can find value of players that are there to make you pay up for like a Luka and pay up for other positions. So very, very excited about the value we're finding so far. And hopefully you guys find this helpful. If you do, let me know. If you would like other things in these videos, you got to let me know what you guys would like to see. Please let me know. I'll see what I can do building these videos. And we're going to continue to rock with MLB every single day of the season, hopefully. And it's very exciting stuff. We're going to continue, even with MLB videos coming out. If you have not checked it out, go check out our playlist for MLB and look at basically between last May and September, all those videos. They were in depth. We're going to continue to do that with both this and MLB moving forward. We've got Atlanta versus the Knicks. Obviously, we know that Trae Young is out. Jalen Brunson kind of screwed us over. He played, I think, Sunday, played 47 seconds, I think. I want to see what I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Left knee contusion. I doubt. Yeah, I really doubt he plays in this game. Obviously, if Brunson is out, Miles McBride played 47 minutes off the bench. Miles McBride would be the one that jumps out to me the most. If you look at McBride, he's fit, so they have, what was his price before? Yeah, they put him up 1,000 because they know he's pretty much going to start. Played in that game, put up 26.75. I don't mind Miles McBride as a tournament option, 5,500. I'm okay with that. Josh Hart, Dante, Precious, you know all this. Bojanovic, these guys are the ones that you know are going to get run. McBride as a cheaper option, DeAndre Hunter as a cheaper option, Alec Burks, Bruno Fernando, depending on if news comes out. The minutes have been okay. coming off a pretty good game against Brooklyn. He's 3,800, another value option for a center position or utility if you want to pay up at other ones. So basically, Fernando and up, I would look at. There will be some value to be had. But again, like Dejounte Murray makes sense. Josh Hart, Jalen Johnson, all the higher-end guys make a lot of sense. I believe Jalen Brunson will most likely be out for a couple of games. Again, a bruise on the knee on a part of the body that he has to use for 40 minutes a game. Definitely, he's not 100%. So those are some of the plays in the Atlanta-New York game. Then we've got two more games. San Antonio versus Houston. Wemby, we absolutely loved him the other day. Finally moving up on price, but I love Wemby. I love Segan. Pretty much from Wemby down to Keldon Johnson I would look at. Value-wise, Cam Whitmore, I'm okay with a little bit. Osman, I don't really like. Yeah, I wouldn't go there. It's probably maybe Zach Collins a little bit. The minutes just, he's had some good games. Houston's not the best against centers, so it's probably Zach Collins and up for me. But yeah, smash on the Wemby, smash on the Segan if you want to save some money. 2,500 on a center position for Segan versus there. But yeah, Van Vliet, Vassell. Van Vliet had one of the best matchups on Sunday. 42 minutes, 52.25 fantasy points. So he absolutely killed it for us in that lineup that we had him in. And then Indy versus Dallas, the last game on this slate. Very excited slate because I think this game's going to be a very high-scoring game. This could be one of the highest-scoring games we've seen all year. With all the value you were able to find other positions, you got to smash Luka. I'm putting Luka in here no matter what. He's going to be one core play. He's very expensive. I think he pays off that price. I just want to see if he's played Indiana this year. So he just played them back on the 25th. Only 56 points. But it was a blowout there. That was one, like Indiana was up 133 to 111. That was an actual blowout. Even against Boston, they were down in a blowout, 138 to 110. He put up 73.5. He has 3 straight 70-plus games, got an 87 game right before that, and then one of his lowest games against Indy. I think he bounces back against Indy. I think a lot of casual players will see, he didn't do very well against Indiana. I don't know if I want to pay up there. Luka is a guy I'm paying up for. I think he's the highest scoring guy on this slate. So yeah, that's what I think on this slate anyway. But flip side of that, you can kind of, obviously, Tyrese Halliburton, he's so expensive, he has not hit value for a very long time. Playing the minutes, he just hasn't hit value. Only 45.25. And what I mean by value is if you're playing cash, you're looking for 6, 7.5 times value. Tournaments, 7.5, 8, 9 times value. Halliburton, I don't think I want to pay $9,000 for him. If he was under, if he's like 7,500, I would look at Halliburton. So I'm probably off Halliburton. I would rather have Luka here. Kyrie against them when it was a blowout, 40.5 fantasy points at 8,900. You could look at him. Pascal, Miles Turner, Benedict Mathurin, PJ Washington. These guys are great. So as you see, you've got these big high-priced guys, and then it drops drastically down to Nembhard, Derek Lively, Tim Hardaway, Gafford, Isaiah Jackson. Game log minutes have been there. Coming off 32.75 against New Orleans. In this matchup, he played Dallas. He did. Played Dallas, only played 3 minutes in that game, 2.75. So that's what scares me. The minutes have been so inconsistent with Isaiah Jackson, but at 3,900, we can afford other positions. So again, find a couple of those value plays and build around them with these studs. And that's exactly the kind of build we like. Stars versus scrubs is what they call it. So that being said, those are the breakdowns of the games. Let's use one of our tools to build a DraftKings lineup for you guys right here. It's a tournament lineup. It'll be one that I do use, but I will use other ones as well. And then at the end of that, I want to show you just the other tools we have on the website. A lot of new people to our Twitter and videos lately. But yeah, also, before we start, we do sports betting as well. These are going to be things I put out every day. This is what I put out yesterday. NBA overs and unders, players, their props, and the hit rate out of their last 10 games, how many times they've hit those. So this is, what I want to do is if you have Twitter at advisors_team, go give us a follow over there and like these. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers on Twitter and 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube before the MLB All-Star break. That would be awesome if we could hit that goal. If we hit that goal, I'm going to give away 2 lifetime passes to the website. So good luck. Let's rock and roll on every platform possible. So using the NBA points allowed by position tool, which you can find right here under the NBA tab, we're on DraftKings, and this is how you read it. So you want to look, these are the teams, the defenses, and how many fantasy points they give up on average. So if you're building and looking for a point guard, you can see I do love Luka, but Pacers are pretty good against, they're ranked 10th out of 30 against the point guard. So maybe you don't want to pay up for Luka today. It just really depends what tool you're going to use, but I really love Luka at 70 plus. But you see Phoenix Sun giving up an average of 55.2 fantasy points per game to the opposing point guard. So you look at that. We come here and we see where's Phoenix at? Wait, why is Phoenix on here? They're part of the games that you can't even play, right? Give me a second. Yeah, it's so stupid. For whatever reason and what this slate is doing, the Phoenix game is at 9, so it's not even on this slate. So we go to the next one. That's San Antonio. Gives up an average of 54.7 fantasy points to the opposing point guard. So we look at that. San Antonio playing Houston. Point guard wise, you would look at Van Vliet, who had a fantastic matchup against Phoenix his last game. So coming off a good game there. He had 50-plus fantasy points there. We'll throw him in there. We have Luka there for now. Well, let's take Luka out for now. Let's just throw in Van Vliet. Like, you know that I love Luka. So let's build a lineup using just these tools. Luka will be in some of my lineups for sure. But this is one lineup using the NBA points allowed by position tool. So we move to the shooting guard position. We look at what we've got going on there. And Atlanta gives up an average of 47.1 fantasy points per game, ranked 29th out of 30th against the opposing shooting guard. So we get in here and we see that we want to, according to this tool, we would like to target a New York Knicks player. McBride would be a cheap option. If Jalen Brunson is out, McBride would make some sense. I think he gets a run at 5,500. That allows us to an average of 6,200, which is exactly perfect for what we're looking for. Building maybe, I don't know, I haven't looked, but using this tool, maybe it is a balanced lineup. We'll kind of see what kind of lineup it'll be after we get through the initial here. So for small forward, Atlanta gives up the most, 47.6. So we're looking at that. Josh Hart, Dante, Bojanovic. Probably not use him. So Josh Hart, looking what he did against Cleveland. 64.75, 54. Yeah. Josh Hart, I'm going to throw him in there as well. So that's 2 New York Knicks players here. Then we move to the power forward position. We look at that, and the Atlanta Hawks give up the most amount to power forward. Charlotte's right behind them by 0.3. So it could be the Knicks again. It could be Precious, who, let's see what he's been up to. Probably don't trust him enough. So yeah, you could go off there. You go off Charlotte, so it's Orlando, Paolo, or Mo Wagner. Like I said, I don't trust Jonathan Isaac. He screwed us over last time. He's 3,500. Paolo here for 8,600. Mo Wagner at 4,600. Game log wise, Mo Wagner had a bad game against Detroit, only played 14 minutes. So Wagner, his minutes scare me a little bit. So maybe we won't, and you don't have to use the top, obviously. So if you come down, Indiana gives up an average of 50 fantasy points. So we could go over to Dallas. PJ Washington, Jalen Green, or Josh Green, probably PJ Washington. Game log wise, the minutes are there. So I'm going to go PJ here. 5,800, right on par with the salary. And then we see the value, or we see the center. San Antonio gives, which is crazy again, but San Antonio and Atlanta Hawks are the 2 worst. San Antonio is almost giving up 60 fantasy points. So that's Segan. Again, now we average 5,100. This is where those value plays come in handy. So If you can't remember the value plays, and we know they're at 3,800 or right around 3,800, were some Jose Alvarado here against Toronto. Game log wise, I don't mind him. The other value plays that we found, or we at least talked about, were in the Jose Alvarado range of 3,700, and it a little bit up further, depending on what you're looking at. You got to find some value today. So we're using him because I believe he'll probably get a little bit more run. If we go Alvarado, we can't. What, Evan Fournier, we didn't talk about him. Has he been getting minutes? Those minutes are inconsistent. I mean, he played 26 minutes. So if they do get blown out, he could get those minutes. So an Evan Fournier, a very value option. Now, that uses 6,700 for utility. Again, when we're looking for utility, you don't have to use the entire lineup, like all 6,700 of it. But we'll just look at it for now just to see. So Nick Claxton against Philly, averaging 32.8. See what Claxton's done against Philly. Or if he's played Philly this year. Which he may not have. Yeah, it doesn't look like Claxton has faced Philly. Miles Turner in a game. Let's see, what did Miles Turner do last time against them? 43.5 at 6,600. I don't mind Miles Turner. That allows us 100 left, which is fine. So a lineup that we can just kind of give you guys the idea of is Fred VanVleet, Miles McBride, Josh Hart, PJ Washington, Alperen Sengun, Misic. I don't know how to say his name. If anyone does know, let me know. Evan Fournier. Now, he is a value option. Again, this is one lineup. This is not an end-all, be-all. This is not the only way to do it. So I just want to put that out there. And then Miles Turner at 6,600. I will be making other lineups, stars and scrubs, so we'll find those value plays again to also throw in there with maybe Luka, maybe Kyrie, maybe Wemby if we're putting him in there as well. So that's just one lineup. Other things like we've talked about. This is what's on the website. So people have been like, oh, you only have this. You only talk about these players. You do everything. Like, just narrow it down. This is a player pool narrowed down from yesterday. So as you can see, right here, 6 plays at each position for cash. For tournaments, 7. So all these players right here, you've got 30 cash plays. We've got 35 tournament plays, plus some leverage plays every single day for you to break down all of the player pool into the top players that we love. On top of that, we've got player projections on the website. We've got top plays. We've got Vegas odds. We've got DFS chalk. We've got sports betting. We've got it all. If you have questions, comments, concerns, get those down below. If you want, go check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Go follow us on all social media, especially Twitter /X @advisors_team. And that's what I've got in this video for you guys. So good luck today. And as always, let's bring them some bacon. Peace.